Good evening, you are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Royal Air Force of Oman implements in the Wilayah of Mazira the trial launching of a new missile defence system. More than 5 billion Omani Riyals is the investment volume in Duqm Economic Special Zone. And the Sultanate of Oman's peace efforts gain international recognition. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Sargsyan of Armenia on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a similar cable to His Excellency Colville Yuong, Governor-General of Belize, on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty also sent a cable of greetings to Her Excellency President Mary Louise Colorado-Brica of Malta on her country's independence anniversary. Meanwhile, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of condolences to His Excellency President Mohamed Bakari of Nigeria on the victims of the floodings that swept through a number of Nigerian cities due to the heavy torrential rains. In order to repurpose the houses of Syed Nader bin Faisal Al Sayed and Sayyida Musna bint Nader Al Sayed to become time-honoured and cultural destinations that tell the history of Al Sayed family and the city of Muscat, His Highness Syed Haytham bin Tariq Al Sayed, Minister of Heritage and Culture, received today Dr. Zaki Aslan, the Director of Ikram Athar, which is an organisation affiliated with UNESCO. The National Museum has previously made a contract with Ikram to mobilise the project, conduct the necessary researches and field studies, and propose a comprehensive plan to rehabilitate the two historical houses. Within the context of the utmost care and attention given by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Syed Badr bin Saud bin Horab Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, today visited the field of training of the Royal Air Force of Oman in the Wilayah of Mazira, where the trial launching of the new missile defence system, which the Sultanate contracted to buy from the American company Raytheon to supply RAFO with a number of air defence systems. It came within the plans of modernisation and development witnessed by RAFO, along with the other core of the Sultan's armed forces under the glorious reign of His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The launching of the system was successful as the rockets of the new system were able to intercept their targets accurately. The investment volume grew substantially in Duqm Special Economic Zone to reach 5.3 billion Omani Riyals. The zone is witnessing the establishment of many projects, with the completion of infrastructure projects like Duqm Dry Dock and Duqm Airport, and the availability of the investment conducive environment such as huge land schemes and long coastline, a logistical advantage to oil producers' tax and customs exemption. The zone received 3.5 billion Omani Riyals from private investors and 1.8 billion Omani Riyals from the public sector. The most important industrial projects that are currently being established are oil refinery, petrochemical plant complex, Chinese industrial city, cement and fish factories, as well as a vehicle assembly factory. The United States praised the role played by the Sultanate in combating terrorism in the Middle East. The annual report of the US State Department on the efforts of the countries in the fight against terrorism appreciated the Sultanate's continued efforts in this field for the second year in a row, and appreciated its role in this regard at the regional and international levels, which reflected the size of security and stability witnessed by the Sultanate under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. In the report, the State Department noted that the Sultanate's government sought training and equipment from the United States and other countries to support its efforts to control land, air and sea borders, and issued a series of official statements condemning the terrorist attacks in 2017. The Sultanate's laws and legislations criminalise various forms of terrorist acts. The US Department of State confirmed in its report that the Sultanate of Oman is an active member of the Financial Action Task Force for the Middle East and North Africa on combating money laundering and the financing of terrorism, an intergovernmental body established in 1989 to set standards and promote effective implementation of legal, regularity and operational measures for combating money laundering, terrorism financing and other related threats to the integrity of the international financial system. Duqm Refinery celebrated the inauguration of the Local Value Added Opportunities Forum in conjunction with the start of the construction of the project, which is expected to be completed by the end of 2022. The project director of Duqm Refinery said that the project will contribute to the creation of training and employment opportunities for Omani youths, reviving economic activities in the Sultanate and achieving a positive impact in various sectors and economic and social activities in the Sultanate. The three-day event included a number of programs, including training workshops and a local value-added opportunities exhibition to learn about available training opportunities and business opportunities for SMEs and local entrepreneurs. The project included three main packages for engineering, procurement and construction, with all these packages containing many business opportunities for small and medium enterprises, suppliers and local contractors, as 10% of the project value is allocated in each package for SMEs and 20% for local contractors for the goods and services to be provided for the project. The Sultanate of Oman's commitment to peace among the world's different religions and beliefs was profiled to a global audience at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, France. Oman's groundbreaking exhibition, Tolerance, Understanding and Coexistence, Oman's Message of Islam, was on display at UNESCO for the third time as part of the International Peace Conference, sponsored by several member states. The exhibition was organised by the Ministry of Awqaf and Religious Affairs in cooperation with the permanent delegation of the Sultanate of Oman to UNESCO and continues until the 21st of September 2018. The exhibition included paintings, descriptions of Islam in public life, creative sculptures and calligraphy, as well as Omani antiques and historical artefacts. In addition, the exhibition had electronic displays, which included all the content of the exhibition in 18 languages. A significant part of the Omani presence was the launch and distribution of World Religions colouring book for kids, which was given to each of the 500 delegates in attendance. Still to come in our news bulletin. Oman National Transport Company Muwasalat launches taxi butler devices. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Sultan Qaboos University signed a cooperation programme with Oman Munition Production Company. The programme aimed to promote cooperation between the two sides. It also aims to build capabilities in the field of production, design and manufacturing by holding various workshops and specialised training courses in munition production and related fields, as well as encouraging the students to develop solutions and techniques in design and manufacturing to enhance the national product in coordination with the company. The agreement was signed by Her Highness Sayyida Dr. Mona bint Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Sayed, SQU Assistant Vice Chancellor for International Cooperation, and Brigadier Saeed bin Abdullah Al Hathi, Deputy Chairman of the Board and Chairman of the Executive Committee of Oman Munition Production Company. In order to cut short the long waiting list for children with cardiac problems, the National Centre for Medicine and Heart Surgery conducted over the past 2 weeks 41 successful open heart surgeries. The children remained hospitalised for less than 3 days. The preparation for this heart operation took over 4 months to conduct the necessary investigations and lab tests to make the patients ready and fit for operation. The surgeons worked for extensive hours to operate on many patients based on the severity of their condition. The Ministry of Health honoured the medical team for their relentless efforts and the results achieved. The Capital Market Authority launched a new electronic system to submit complaints against insurance companies. The authority stated that the application will assist in following up with complaints from the insured in case of non-compliance from insurance companies with rules and terms of the insurance policy. The authority also added that the new application will offer statistical information on the number of complaints from insurance holders and facilitate tracking down any complaint without the need to visit or call CMA offices. Oman National Transport Company Muwasalat launched taxi butler devices. This is a continuation of the efforts exerted in the development of the taxi sector in the Sultanate, stressing the importance of employing modern technology to facilitate service and encourage the public to use taxis. The taxi butler devices are the first of its kind in the Sultanate. These devices facilitate the booking of taxis in advance and features the speed of implementation of the reservation request without the need to contact in advance the taxi drivers. The service also allows for requesting more than one vehicle if the number of passengers exceeds the capacity of the taxi. In addition, the customer can obtain a direct update of the expected time of arrival and the data of the driver with a notice of the arrival of the vehicle to the location of the request. Aiming to familiarise the new intake of students with the nature of the foundation programme and the specific requirements for each level, the English department at Niswa College of Applied Sciences organised an exhibition. The exhibition comes as part of the continued endeavours enhancing the students' academic life. Our reporter Salah bin Khalfan Arabi has more details in the following report.
Under the theme "And the Story Begins," Niswa College of Applied Sciences organized an exhibition for the foundation level students to familiarize them with the nature of the foundation program and the specific academic requirements for each level.
I'm very pleased to be here at the foundation exhibition, which I think is very important because the students is moved from the high school to the new academic life. So it is very important for them to know about the academic regulation here. And what I can see from the exhibition is that the students will know about how many courses and how many levels they are going to study, and also about the academic regulation if they fail.
The exhibition included 4 main sections representing the 4 levels of the foundation program, A, B, C, and D, from which the students received detailed explanations about their levels, including the chances of repeating each level and the consequences of missing classes and failing courses.
This is tertiary level, so the learners here need to be more autonomous rather than being more guided. And the good idea about it, they are mentored by a lot of learners, their peers, the previous, the old hand peers. And this is really an important, idea, because if the learners are well aware in advance about what's about their journey, they know what to do, they can organize their time, they can, be prepared for this.
Investing in the foundation year was among the aims of the exhibition, during which students were involved in friendly conversations about investing in the foundation year, particularly regarding working on their language skills, hobbies, building healthy habits, and building good relationships with their colleagues and teachers.
This exhibition is important for foundation students because it provides necessary information for us to complete the foundation program.
The foundation students were also introduced to the Speaking and Writing Center and the various activities conducted by the English Society, aiming to provide them with an environment for self-learning with guidance from teachers and volunteer students. A stitch in time saves 9. Through this exhibition, students get acquainted with what's coming up in the foundation program to progress successfully to their specializations. From Nizwa College of Applied Sciences, Saleh Bukhalfan al-Rahbi, Ad-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
The European Union and Britain are walking a diplomatic tightrope as they attempt to thrash out a divorce deal in time for Britain's departure from the bloc next March. Arriving today at a summit of EU leaders in the Austrian city of Salzburg, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte labelled the Brexit negotiations a balancing act. Luxembourg's Prime Minister Xavier Bettel said time was getting short, urging both sides to find a compromise. British Prime Minister Theresa May yesterday appealed to the European Union to soften its stance in Brexit negotiations, saying that only her government has a workable plan to prevent a hard border between Northern Ireland in the UK and EU member state Ireland when Britain leaves the bloc. Hungarian leader Viktor Orban urged his fellow leaders not to punish the UK for its vote to leave the European Union. Britain leaves the EU at midnight on March 29th, the first time a country has ever left the world's biggest trading bloc, but solutions to outstanding Brexit issues must be found by November so parliaments have time to ratify any accord. South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited the sacred Mount Paektu on the North Korean-Chinese border this morning. The leaders also toured the shores of the Heaven Lake inside the crater of the volcano. Many South Koreans also feel drawn to the volcano, which, according to Korean mythology, was the birthplace of Dangan, the founder of the first ancient Korean kingdom, and has long been considered one of the most beautiful places on the peninsula. The leaders are basking in the glow of the joint statement they settled yesterday. Compared to the vague language of their two earlier summits, Kim and Moon seem to have agreed on an ambitious programme meant to tackle soaring tensions last year that had many fearing war as the North tested a string of increasingly powerful weapons. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and its nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of cloud accumulation and scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Low clouds and fog late at night and early morning are expected over the coasts of the Arabian Sea and Sea of Oman. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate with a maximum wave height of 1.45 metres. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Royal Air Force of Oman implements in the Walaya of Mazira the trial launching of a new missile defence system. More than 5 billion Omani Riyals is the investment volume in Duqm Special Economic Zone. And the Sultanate of Oman's peace efforts gain international recognition. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.